Well, good afternoon. A very warm welcome here to Heusden-Zolder for the next round of the Telenet UCI World Cup Cyclo-cross. This is the 7th round of the season as we look down here on the starting grid as we see the standings with Sanne Cant leading ahead of Caitlin Keough, with Sophie de Boer now up in 3rd place, Eva Lechner in 4th, Katarina Nash has made her way into 5th place, and Helen Wyman up there in 6th place in the standings so far. The riders then are getting themselves ready for today's race. 6 degrees centigrade at the moment. It's a little bit chilly. The wind is what's making it cold. Very stiff wind indeed at 20 kilometers an hour. It's a tailwind down this finishing straight. As you can see, the flags fluttering in the background. So the riders just been called to the start grid. As we take a look at the riders, there is Sophie de Boer,
in the women's elite category, 66 riders
concentrating hard
2 minutes before the start.
As she gets herself ready for racing. Alongside her, Ellen van Looy, who finished 3rd here in 2015. Haven't seen her on her top form so far this season. There is Katarina Nash, 3rd last year. She certainly looks like she's ready for this race. There's Caitlin Keough, who has been so good so far this season for the United States of America. Thumbs up from her. Alongside her, the world champion Sanne Cant. Sanne will be looking to put in a better performance than in Namur last week. Eva Lechner, always a big smile from Eva. She finished 3rd in Namur, and back on the World Cup Cyclo-cross grid, Marianne Vos, the Dutch champion, and alongside her, Nikki Brameer, who was 2nd in Namur last week. Marianne Vos has won this race here in Zolder so many times. She won it 2016. Also won 14, 12, 11, 9 and 8. Very, very focused today as we see her return to the World Cup. The tape is pulled back. You really do have to fly at the start line here. And the green light is on and the charge starts. Let's see who gets the best start. Sanne Cant in a very big gear there in the middle. Doesn't seem to have got a great start, but she now uses that power and turns it on as she goes clear. Marianne Vos with a very, very good start as well. Well, let's see who comes out on top. Remember, we've got this very fast corner to contend with. Eva Lechner is right up there, Van Looy is there, Brameer is there, Vos. But the first rider to go through the corner is Sanne Cant in the colours of the world champion. Brameer has got a good start in 4th. Marianne Vos straight away at the front of the World Cup Cyclo-cross. So Vos right on the wheel of Sanne Cant. Cant was 2nd in 2016. He finished bronze medalist in the World Championship here when Talita de Jong took the title. Cant also won in 2015, and she was 3rd in 13 and 12. This is a very, very fast course indeed. Not as muddy as you might have expected. It's been raining all night here in Zolder. But so far, because you've got quite a lot of sand underneath this course, as you can see there in the background, things are draining away quite nicely. So as these riders crisscross, Marianne Vos just taking the left foot out of the pedals. Just staying right, tucked in on the wheel. Just looking back through the grid to see where the riders who've got low grid positions are likely to be. But at the front, we've got Sanne Cant, Marianne Vos, Ellen van Looy, Nikki Bramer, Lucinda Brand, Eva Lechner. Let's just see what happens here. There is Marianne Vos. In fact, left foot right out as she had to just right herself through that corner. Technically so good, even although we've not seen her riding any cyclocross so far this season. All the riders at the front definitely on form. Although Ellen van Looy, we've seen her ride really well here in 2015. She loves this course. We haven't seen her at the front of too many crosses so far this season. Eva Lechner is definitely on form. Lucinda Brand took a solo victory just a few days ago in the other Saturday. Normally we see the other series taking place. As we see, a little tricky round this corner. And Marianne Vos losing a place as Ellen van Looy goes to the front. Sanne Cant riding that entire little bit of the course. Those of you are wondering, Evie Richards is not riding today, chosen to spend Christmas at home. She was the winner in Namur. Just seeing, there's Sophie de Boer, Katarina Nash. There goes Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, and following her, as always, Jolanda Neff. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot knows she needs to get herself from the second to back row in the grid to the front as soon as she possibly can. Starting so far back. Yeah, the question about Marianne Vos being gridded at the front. She's a national champion. She was a multiple world champion. Just due to her place last year in the World Cup. And Marianne Vos also probably given a little bit of leeway in the fact that she has finished 6 times as the winner of this race. Van Looy goes through the corners, following Lechner, this little crisscross section to take the riders back onto the tarmac, and as you can see, it's incredibly fast. Van Looy setting the tempo.
We have a big bunch and 1 row for the ball.
Van Looy making life quite difficult. Eva Lechner over there on the... She now goes to the front in the colours of the Italian champion. Teammate of Katarina Nash. I saw Katarina Nash doing massive warm-ups before the start. Really strong, powerful sprints. Now this is this section in Zolder. You have to choose. Do you go to the top of the hill or the bottom? All problems there for number 38, Maud Kapteins. Having a few difficulties there. Lucinda Brand using her road speed to very, very good effect. Of course, a former teammate of Marianne Vos. And Brand will try and dominate now from the front. She's got really strong morale, having taken that victory a few days ago. See just how fast it is. They are right on the limit. Nikki Bramer touches the padding at the side. She hugged the netting a few days ago in one of the races. She goes sprinting up the steps. Katie Compton, the American champion, working her way onto the steps now. She's not had a great start. She needs to work her way through the field, but Lucinda Brand now has the lead. As you can see, the muddy section because of the rain that fell over the last few days. Just looking to see, Marianne Vos is okay. She was looking down at her back wheel, just checking it out. I wondered whether she had a puncture. Lucinda Brand gives her a big shove over the top of that hill. That's going to help her because she's no open in a few seconds. Marianne Vos goes through the picture. Sanne Kant, Eva Lechner, Nikki Bramer, Maud Kapteins, who won in Coxside, of course. She beat Sophie de Boer. And there is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, locked together with Sophie de Boer. She's got such a hard job being gridded at the back. I was talking to Pauline before the race starts. She was looking forward to today. She said she enjoyed riding around the circuit yesterday. She finished third here in 2014 when Marianne Vos beat Katarina Nash and Pauline Ferrand-Prévot was in third place. Well, Lucinda Brand is already getting rid of her gloves, and a problem here for Lowe's Cells. Lowe's Cells was fourth place in Coxside. Lucinda Brand goes across to complete lap number 1, 8:30 for the opening lap. Bramier goes through 9 seconds down. There is Katie Compton leading a group with Caitlin Keogh, and also in that group Anne-Marie Verst. There's a huge amount of chasing going on with some groups behind. They know that they have to do their work here on this main road. There is Ferrand-Prévot, not far behind Yolanda Neff now. Lucinda Brand throws her gloves into the pits. Now 28 years of age. Bramier trying to get back on terms here. Has announced her project for the 2018 season, a new Modita project. So she'll have new sponsors that she'll be riding in the colours of from the start of January. And she's also aiming to have a development team linked with her new project to try and inspire young riders. So an interesting new project from Nikki Bramier. And there's a few other riders who will be doing similar things and announcing new sponsors, new bikes, new colours at the beginning of this 2018 year. But Ellen Van Looy back at the front yet again. Lucinda Brand in second place, the winner of the Tour of Norway on the road in 2016. She's also won Omloop Het Nieuwsblad last season, you may remember. So a very, very good road rider. She's using it on this Zolder circuit to very good effect. No one really is being dropped here. There's an elite group of riders going clear.
In front of the race, Van Looy and Kamp. One rider from Italy, Eva Lechner, and now also one rider in front of the race.
So a total of 66 riders in this field today, 17 different nations represented. Now, lots of discussion last time about the time limit on this World Cup. Interestingly, I know everyone was talking about how long the race was for the women last time, but I shared a car back to the airport with Katarina Nash, and she said that the race was full on all the way through anyway, and many of the riders weren't really going any further forward when they got to what was almost 40 minutes. Now, most races have to be, or they have to be over 40 minutes, but it was 38 minutes and something. But Katarina was interesting in her observations about whether riders would have changed positions. Of course, there could have been technical problems and things for some riders, but the majority, she felt, had kind of reached the position they were going to finish in if they had no technical issues at all. So it was interesting to talk to her about it. There's Katie Compton, who's had a slow start, but she's now starting to make her way up towards the front. Now, she's not figuring in the race yet, but I know there's a few people who are fans of Helen Wyman. I went and sat and chatted to her in her camper van before the race start today, because I know a few people have been asking, is she continuing in 2018, because she didn't have any major sponsor. The good news is that Helen Wyman will continue in 2018. She's now secured sponsorship, and she can't announce anything yet, but she will announce it on the 1st of January at 11 o'clock Central European time. That's when you can find out what her new sponsors and project is all about. But she's very, very pleased. I was talking to her before the start. And she's extremely happy to continue and has got now sponsorship all the way through until the end of the 2018 season, which of course ends at the beginning of 2019. Takes her right through the World Championships in 2019. So we'll wait and find out about her sponsorship. Daylight now, a huge attack by Lucinda Brandt. She's put in that massive turn. You saw a problem there for Marianne Vos. You saw Lucinda go into almost aero tuck mode, trying to get really low on that road section, and that has launched her to a big attack. Katie Compton's now in 7th place. Lucinda Brandt looking around to see where everyone is, and she's opened up about a 6-second advantage on the rest of the field now. Lucinda Brandt up the stairs. Those of you asking about Marianne Vos, just to clarify, thanks to our commissaires and the jury and the UCI who are here on site, just asked them to clarify why Marianne exactly was on the front row of the grid, because I'm sure some of you are wondering. Most of her UCI points were won after Zolder in 2016, so she keeps them. And she's ranked 6th in the world right now. So that is why Marianne is, when she comes to the start of a cyclocross season and she turns up at Zolder, that's why she starts in the front row of the grid. The difference between her and Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, of course, is that Pauline had 2 years out of cyclocross. Marianne is just slipping and sliding a little bit here. And Lucinda Brandt having some problems and is now caught. This race changing all the time. So that is why Pauline Ferrand-Prévot has to start right at the back of the grid, whereas Marianne is right at the front of the grid because of her points. This is Lucinda Brandt. What happened here? Oh, came to a total standstill and fell. And Sanne Cant catches her. Eva Lechner takes a little look around. Lucinda Brand kicking her pedals just to get the mud out of them. Ellen Van Looy is in there as well. Katie Compton is having a great race now. She makes her way towards the front in this tailwind section. Marianne Vos is coming across too. Crossing the line that time. There will be 5 laps in total. So, crossing the line that time. Fast lap. There's some fast laps going in here. I'll just run through them for you. But that time was an 8:30 by the looks of things again. Lap number 2. But Jolanda Neff just put in an 8:15 lap to get herself further up the standings. Jolanda Neff now 10th in the running order. She's 10 seconds behind the leaders. As Eva Lechner puts in another big turn. This is a very, very good race so far. There is Jolanda Neff. You can see her with the flowing blonde hair, sitting on the wheel of Maud Kapteins. There she is in the black, riding for the Cross Racing team. Jolanda Neff is going to get herself to the front of this World Cup. Well, judging by the pace right now, this race is going to be over 40 minutes without any doubt whatsoever. So we can put that conversation to bed. Thanks for all your messages, Stuart Pickering, John Owie, Jeremy Pomeroy, all pleased about Helen Wyman securing her sponsorship for the season. There goes Jolanda Neff, one of the top mountain bikers in the world. She is slowly but surely making her way to the front of this race. She's not far away. Katarina Nash not having her best race, but she's not far in front now of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. So let's run through the standings for you on this circuit. Eva Lechner, Sanne Cant, Ellen Van Looy, Lucinda Brand, Katie Compton, Nikki Bramier, Marianne Vos, Jolanda Neff, Maud Kapteins, Laura Verdon-Schott, Anne-Marie Verst. Shailene Del Carmen is also near the front. Then Katarina Nash, Caitlin Keogh, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot and Christelle Ferrier-Bruneau all at the front. In the top 16 places. It's like a road race right now, the speed they're going around this course. Lechner very happy to set the tempo. So normally on this sort of circuit they'd be riding 1.4 bar, 1.4, something like that in the tyres. Depending on the weight on the bike. There is Jolanda Neff with a white helmet in the black with a red handlebar tape. She really is shifting now. Eva Lechner puts in a big attack, takes Sanne Cant with her. There is Katarina Nash, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot with her, Caitlin Keogh right on her wheel in the green. Now don't forget, if you'd like to keep an eye on the action and you like to have, I don't know, watch it on the screen and keep the other bits of information alongside you, don't forget to go to uci.ch and go to the live timing. So it's on the Cyclo-cross events World Cup entries results page, and you can find the live timing and you can keep an eye on exactly how everyone's doing. With Jolanda Neff, that average speed of that lap, 22.54 kilometers an hour. Second fastest time is Katie Compton with an 8:20. Del Carmen, third fastest time, an 8:24. Alicia Arzoufi with the fourth fastest lap. Then Katarina Nash So this race might come all back with so many top riders at the front. Sanne Cant leading now. Eva Lechner right on the wheel. If you'd like to message me, at Ant McCrossan is where you can tweet me and ask any information. Don't forget the live tracking on the UCI website, so go to uci.ch and find the live tracking on the website. You can keep a good eye on where all the riders are. Number 44 there is Fleur Nagengast, who's the under-23 rider. Sanne Cant puts in another big turn. Marianne Vos dropping back just a little bit. Marianne, of course, wearing her Dutch champions colours as opposed to her Wow Deals kit, which is now Marianne Vos kit as well. There goes Jolanda Neff. Right on Jolanda Neff's wheel is Anne-Marie Verst, and tucked in on her wheel is Telin Del Carmen. Still a lot of riders in with a chance of winning this race. Jolanda Neff is sprinting absolutely flat out along this path as Eva Lechner goes down the drop-off. Katie Compton has had a great recovery here. Nicky Bramier, the British champion. Never, ever underestimate Marianne Vos, though. Winner in 2016, 14, 12, 11, 9 and 8. She'll just bide her time. And if she's feeling good at the right time, big, deep breath there by Maud Kapteins. And Marianne Vos will go on a big attack, I'm sure. Big run up. Sanne Cant tries again now. A big turn of pace by the world champion. Katie Compton's trying to go with her. Eva Lechner trying to recover as well. Lucinda Brand not now starting to make a few mistakes. Sanne Cant putting in a massive turn of power now to try and get herself rid of the rest of the riders. Katie Compton going with her. Sanne Cant goes down that descent and now opens up an advantage. Look at the speed that she's gone down this descent at. Katie Compton in on the wheel. Ellen Van Looy trying to go across. Compton recognises that you have to go with the world champion. Suddenly she's opened up a 6-second advantage. Back now to complete another lap. Katie Compton can see Sanne Cant in front of her. These riders, Ellen Van Looy looks to be suffering. What's the lap going to be this time? Sanne Cant crosses the line at the end of lap number 3. It's an 8:18 lap, the second fastest lap we've seen. Still not as quick as Jolanda Neff, but not far off. She's suddenly opened up. 5 seconds on Compton, 5 on Lechner, 9 on Van Looy, 16 on Lucinda Brand, just with that attack. Sanne Cant go. Have these riders got any sort of response? Pauline from Prevost now up in 12th place. It would be really interesting to see what would happen if Ferrand Prevost was on the 2nd or 3rd row of the grid. In Namur, she started on the back row of the grid, finished 5th. Today she started on the 2nd back row on such a fast course, and she's already up to 12th place. Yolanda Neff is dragging this group across. Sanne Cant, 7 seconds now. Hello to Marcy Mann, thanks for your message, and Joe Lally as well. Just update on some other riders for you. Let's take a quick look. So Katarina Nash is now 13th. Caitlin Keogh of the United States, 16th. Christelle Ferrier-Bruno of Canada, 17th place. Emma White is in 20th. Helen Wyman down in 27th. She said to me before the start, don't expect to see anything today. This is not my course. Anna Kay of Great Britain in 39th, third place at this moment in time. Jennifer Malik of the United States of America is riding in the top 40. Oh. Stacey Riedel of Australia has had to drop out of the race, unfortunately. Natalie Redmond is still going in 57th place. Sanne Cant being chased now by Katie Compton. 7 seconds is still the deficit. Fastest lap, still Yolanda Neff, then Sanne Cant, then Katie Compton, then Eva Lechner. Pauline Ferrand-Prévost's fastest lap, an 8:26 on lap number 3. That power. Lechner looks riding strongly here in Zolder. Marianne Vos trying to come back with Yolanda Neff and Nikki Bramier. Sanne Cant looks to have some daylight. And I think if Compton and Lechner catch her, things will calm down yet again. Things are a little bit stretched. There is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, now overtaken Katarina Nash. Nash will go back to the States and then get herself ready for the World Championships. She's now the president of the Athletes Commission. So I think she's been doing a lot of sitting in meetings over the last couple of weeks. Kurt, I just mentioned, you just asked about Amira Mella. Hopefully you heard the place that she was in. I just went through that, so she's now 53rd. Chuck, interesting your comment. You think the women should be the main event and the men should be run first. Certainly the racing is more unpredictable. It's more back and forward, isn't it, right now, the women's race, and it's very, very exciting. But do bear in mind that this is, at this moment in time, run for Belgian TV, has a huge audience, and that's traditionally how it's been run. But the audiences that the women's racing is getting now is fantastic. As Katie Compton attacks Sanne Cant, so you never know, it might happen in the future. Stuart, how come Marianne's wearing her kit for 2018? I was wondering that. She's got the new sponsor on the kit, but then it is her team. But I don't know, maybe she applied to have the sponsor change before the end of 2017, or the sponsor just said, I'm not worried, you can do whatever you like, as Lucinda Brand takes to the fast section. It's oh, a crash for Lucinda Brand. She looked to be coming back then at the leaders. There is Yolanda Neff, a big turn of pace by her, looks to have put her into the red. Yolanda Neff's lap time 8:15, then Sanne Cant 8:18, Katie Compton 8:20, Eva Lechner 8:24. So still Yolanda Neff, as we've mentioned a few times now, has the fastest lap time at 22.54 kilometres an hour. So the more consistent riders, not necessarily having the fastest lap times. Jack McGull, thanks very much for your message. How does missing a World Cup race like Ellen Noble, Evie Richards affect their world ranking? It won't affect it massively if they've won a round, but Evie Richards isn't too concerned, I don't think, right now about her World Cyclo-cross ranking. There is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot on the stairs. It affects it a little bit, but it doesn't cost you massively if you're one of the consistent riders like Sana or Katie Compton or someone like that. You're always going to be on the first or the second row of the grid. If you miss a big chunk of the season, then you drop back quite quickly. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot now running 12th, 29 seconds down. She's just behind the group of Bramier, Captynes, Yolanda Neff. Alan Van Looy having to get off now. Everyone is really suffering. This is a hard bike race. So Compton leading Lechner, Sana Kant in third place. If you'd like to message, tweet me at Ant McCrossan, and don't forget follow at UCI_cycling for all the news. And don't forget to go on the live timing if you want to keep the tracking of the riders and keep an eye on what's going on. We're coming round then to the completion of the next lap. We're going to get the bell. And Katie Compton leads. 34 minutes have gone by. Compton leads Lechner and Sana Kant. 1 lap of racing to go. It's an 8:26 lap. Behind them, Van Looy, Lucinda Brand, Marianne Vos, Anne-Marie Verst. Then we see Maud Captynes. Tucked in on her wheel is Yolanda Neff. And look at Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. Ferrand-Prévot is now 22 seconds away from the leaders, having started on the second last row of the grid. If there's any messing around at the front of this race, then the former world champion could find herself fighting for one of the top places. She's fought her way all the way through to 10th place now. Katarina Nash crosses the line. To me, Sana Kant is just biding her time. There is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. She is nearly on the wheel of her former teammate Marianne Vos. She's caught Yolanda Neff. Neff has probably gone into the red with that 8:15 lap, and Pauline Ferrand-Prévot has now set the fastest lap time with an 8:14.8, 22.55 kilometres an hour by Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, the fastest lap of today's race. This is really hotting up now. Katie Compton, Eva Lechner, Sana Kant. Is she hanging back on purpose? Who's going to win this race? Katie Compton hasn't won a round of this series so far this season. Lucinda Brand, the early pace setter. Ferrand-Prévot is almost now on the wheel of that little group. Sana Kant hanging back. She isn't hanging back on purpose. Starting to suffer a little. This has been a ding-dong battle between these riders. Down onto the tarmac then for Compton. There goes Brand. Right on the wheel of Brand is Laura Verdonschot now. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot is now 16 seconds behind the leader. Well, who's going to win, everyone? What a race we are seeing the day after Christmas Day. Just to keep you updated, we have had the Freets in the commentary box today. It's a tradition on the day after Christmas. Katie Compton leads again. She looks good today, doesn't she? Eva Lechner right in on the wheel. Well, Compton makes a little mistake. Sanne Cant coming back at them now. Lechner fancies this one today, doesn't she? There is Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. Keep an eye on the rider in the Red Bull helmet because she is absolutely flying around this course on that Canyon bike. Really interesting design. I was looking at that before the start with the little shoulder fitting, and underneath the top tube is like rough so that the bike doesn't slip on your shoulder when you're carrying it. This race running out now, 38 minutes coming up. Lechner on the front, Compton second. Sanne Cant, though, has a very good sprint. She'll be faster in a sprint than Eva Lechner, I would think. Lucinda Brand trying to come back. Compton doesn't want to let this group behind come back. They are 13 seconds behind now. Lucinda Brand attacks, and Ferrand-Prévot is moving up, looking very confident indeed. Any moment now, she's going to be in the top 6 from the second back row of the grid. Lucinda Brand putting in a massive turn. Marianne Vos turning herself inside out to stay in the wheels, and they are all coming back now to the leaders. Eva Lechner looking around. Sanne Cant looks a little concerned. Katie Compton is there. Who's going to take this victory? Ferrand-Prévot now into 7th. Lucinda Brand dragging these riders across. Laura Verdonschot is the rider in the turquoise at the back. These riders at the front are starting to play around a little bit. It's not far to go to the finish. Eva Lechner on to the next twist, and Pauline Ferrand-Prévot is closing the gap on the leaders here. Are we going to see the unthinkable happen in this World Cup? Ferrand-Prévot's put in an 8:14 lap, and now she is putting in another fast lap to try and get herself to the front. Sanne Cant looks a bit worried. Big turn of pace by the world champion. She goes right up the rides all the way up the hill. Lechner is with her, Compton also. Compton goes the faster route if you can get it right. Ferrand-Prévot also does the same with Marianne Vos and Lucinda Brand right on the wheel. This is going to be an incredible finish. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot trying to cruise away across. A big sprint from her. Sanne Cant then. Lechner goes to the front. Down the descent. Fast drop off now. Lechner followed by Cant, followed by Compton. These three look like they're going to fight it out, but Ferrand-Prévot is there. Lucinda Brand is on the wheel of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. Oh, as Sanne Cant slips on the steps. It's neck and neck in this race. Sanne Cant then sprinting hard. Katie Compton on the wheel. Eva Lechner is there. Ferrand-Prévot is almost in touching distance, but I think she's going to run out of time. Sanne Cant makes a mistake at the top of the hill, although she manages to ride the hill yet again. She's going away. Katie Compton is with her. Ferrand-Prévot is now into 5th place. Lucinda Brand is there. Now onto this next little section. Sanne Cant uses her power. Oh, is she going to manage to do it? She does. Katie Compton is with her, but Sanne Cant is going clear. She's just held something back a little bit. Eva Lechner is with her. Sanne Cant with sheer power. No mistake by the world champion. She looks around to see Katie Compton, who is going pedal rev for pedal rev, but Sanne Cant looks like she has the measure of this course. Down the descent, she's very fast in this section. Katie Compton going with her. Not far now until the tarmac. These three really have ridden an incredible race. Sanne Cant's looking good. A big sprint from the world champion. She looks around, gives it another massive turn. Now she's going to make her way round. Sanne Cant has got this absolutely perfect. Onto the tarmac for the world champion. Sanne Cant looks around. Katie Compton trying to come back at her. But Sanne Cant has got the measure of her breakaway companions. It is going to be a win for the world champion in Zolder. Sanne Cant wins, 42 minutes, 21 seconds. Katie Compton in second place. Eva Lechner in third place. Behind her is the former world champion, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, fourth place from the second to back row of the grid. What a ride by Ferrand-Prévot. Marianne Vos takes fifth place. Behind her, Lucinda Brand. Laura Verdon shot in seventh, I think, then Van Looy, then Kat Tynes, then Jolanda Neff, then Nikki Bramier. What a race that was. Next rider to come in, Anne-Marie Verst. Well, that was some bike race. Next rider to cross the line, Alici Arzuffi of Italy, number 63. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot on lap 5, the fastest lap with an 8:08. 6 seconds faster than Sanne Cant on the final lap. What a ride by the French rider. Absolutely stunning today. There's Caitlin Keogh. It's going to be 16th today. What a performance by Sanne Cant. Everyone in that race was absolutely flat out. Still gasping for breath and recovering. And Eva Lechner, third place. Sanne Cant, a perfectly timed attack. Look at the speed, making her way into the finish. Wins it by 3 seconds from Katie Compton. The world champion won in Waterloo. She wins in Boggensee. She won in Zeven. And she wins here in Zolder. Katie Compton, though, very happy with that result today. Eva Lechner, who so often led that race. Confirmation then of the result. Sanne Cant wins in 42 minutes, 24 seconds. Katie Compton of the United States in second. Eva Lechner in third. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot signals her return to the World Cup with a fourth place from the second to back row of the grid. Marianne Vos, great to see her back racing in fifth, and Lucinda Brand in sixth. There's the rest of the top 10. Here's our countdown of the top 20 with Nikki Bramier starting there in 11th, with Katerina Nash in 14th. Caitlin Keogh in 16th place. Emma White of the United States also on that leaderboard, with Christine Majeras of Luxembourg. Here's the highlights of today's race then. Early on, it was Lucinda Brand who was forcing herself to the front. That result just a few days ago, giving her lots of morale. Sanne Kamp always in the moves. Lucinda Brown looking pretty powerful at this point in the race. Eva Lechner and Sanne Kamp always up there. Katie Compton at this point, though, wasn't even in the race. Compton ended up with a fast lap time of an 8:17 on lap number 5. She'd made herself possible winner with her move up to the front here in 3rd place, and so it was after this that it was a battle between Sanne Kamp, Eva Lechner and Katie Compton. Sanne Kamp very powerful today. Compton riding some difficult sections. A few little mistakes here or there. The odd slip by the world champion. She still had loads of power when it mattered. And a great victory to give herself excellent morale going into 2018. Celebrating all the way. Katie Compton, though, her morale will be high after that result. Here's the standings now. After Heusden-Zolder, Sanne Kamp leads with 4.89. Caitlin Keogh still up there in 2nd place with 3.76. Lechner in 3rd. And as we look through the rest of the top 10, Katie Compton down in 9th place. Bramier and Wyman 6th and 7th. Well, don't forget, we will have the men's race. So just to tidy up the fastest laps for you whilst we see Sanne Kamp crossing the line. Pauline from Prevost, the fastest lap with 8:08.9. Sanne Kamp 8:14.5. Yolanda Neff 8:15. Katie Compton an 8:17. Maud Kapteins 8:21 and Eva Lechner 8:21. Everyone wrapped up against the cold. A little bit chilly out there. The riders making their way towards the podium. Caroline Marnie just making her way back to the camper vans. 2nd in the World Championships here, remember, in 2016. While we're waiting for the podium presentation. Little dog wrapped up against the cold, just the same as everyone else.
In Heusden-Zolder, the place.
Well, we wait to crown Sanne Kamp as the winner of today's race. We will have the men's race coming up shortly, so don't disappear.
Eigen wereldkampioen werd een van zijn zoveel titels hier in Heusden-Zolder. En dan het WK van 2002 met Mario de Klerk.
Well, traditionally, this is the Boxing Day cyclocross, the Grand Prix Erik de Vlaeminck. As we wait to hear from today's winner, Sanne Cant. The world champion has won here in Zolder, the 7th round of the Telenet UCI World Cup Cyclo-cross.
Ja, Sanne Cant. Eerste vraagje in het Engels. Sanne Cant, many congratulations. How happy are you with number 100?
Very happy. Last week it didn't make it, so yeah, I really would like to win here, and the spectators were just amazing, so I'm really happy I could win.
Yeah, this is a special spot to take that 100 victory.
Yeah, it's a World Cup in my hometown, so yeah, I think this is the most beautiful place to take it.
Ja, het is heel mooi, 100 overwinningen en je had de hele tijd controle, zo leek het toch, Sanne?
Ja, op zich, ik voelde me eigen goed en ik wist dat die parcours was waar dat je niet echt heel de wedstrijd op kop kon rijden en zeker niet alleen. Dus het was een beetje afwachten en af en toe bespreken, want met 7, 8 man samen vind ik net iets te veel. Dan is het te moeilijk of dan moet je te hard vechten voor je plaatsje. Dus we hebben af en toe geprobeerd om het wat kapot te rijden, dat we met een paar overschoten. En ik dacht in de voorlaatste ronde, ik probeer wel eens weg te rijden. Maar
ja, toen was je even alleen, hè?
Ja, ik had best een goed stuk net voor de aankomst in het bos. Dat was redelijk technisch en dat lag me wel. En ik kreeg dan een gaatje en ik dacht, ik trek door. Maar ja, het was, 2 ronden was nog redelijk ver om het te houden. Dus toch maar even terug ingehouden en nog een rondje in het wiel gaan zitten.
De organisator kwam me net vertellen, heeft een taart voor je gemaakt waar de 100 op staat. Maar dan mag je in deze periode weinig van snoepen, neem ik aan.
Goh, ik denk dat ik wel een stukje verdiend heb nu na die 100ste. Er komen nog veel crossen en dan kun je met deze kou weer dat beetje slag gewoon wel gebruiken.
Oké, doen we nog een 100 bij. Dankjewel, Sanne Cant.
Sanne Cant, her 100th victory. Great result. She's certainly ready to defend her world title. James, thanks for your message. Just reminded me Evie Richards started at the back and ended up winning last time. Seamus Allen looking forward to the men's race to see if it compares to the women's. As we see Sanne making her way now to the podium. Anna Kay Alistair, you just asked. 36th she was today.
Of course, once again, introduced by our chill, please.
Here's our podium then.
After the 3rd race today, after the 7th round in the women's elite category of the Telenet UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup today in Heusden-Zolder. Finished 3rd in this race, representing Italy, geëindigd op de 3e plaats uit Italië, Eva Lechner.
Eva Lechner takes 3rd place today.
She is receiving her kisses, her flowers. She is receiving a trophy.
Anne-Marie Rook, I like your idea. Should the fastest lap get a prize? I think in cyclocross it's a perfect opportunity. Anne-Marie, of course, from Ella Cycling Tips. She knows her stuff. So maybe we should have a fastest lap prize. It would be an interesting one. Another sponsorship opportunity for cycling. Katie Compton takes second place today. And to link in with that theme, the fourth fastest lap.
Kisses, flowers, a trophy, and your applause for the second in this race today from the United States of America, Katie Compton.
Katie Compton very pleased with this performance here in Zolder. She finished second in 15 and second in 2012 as well as in 2009. She also won in 2013. Sanne Cant, her 100th victory.
She's enjoying this moment. She is receiving the kisses, receiving the trophy. De trofee wordt uitgereikt door de heer Jacques Heijnen, voorzitter van de Raad van Bestuur van Circuit Zolder. And then, of course, she stays in the lead after today in the overall standings.
She leads the World Cup.
UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. We call upon Mr. Brook Watts, member of the Cyclo-cross UCI Commission, to present the leader's jersey to the winner of today. Stays in the lead.
As Brooke presents her with the leader's jersey. Brooke, of course, the promoter of what was Cross Vegas. Is involved with the Waterloo Cross as well. Always here over the Christmas period. He loves his cyclocross. Sanne putting on both jerseys and showing that she's the world champion. Now the national anthem. Sanne Cant wins here in Zolder. Cross she sees as her home cross. And look at that. Now that's a good prize. Her 100th victory. A nice cake. I hope she's going to bring that around the commentary box.
Well done also Katie Compton. Well done also Eva Lechner.
Well, there's our podium today. Eva Lechner, the Italian champion, in third. The American rider, Katie Compton, in second place. And the world champion, Sanne Cant, takes today's victory. We'll be back with the men's race. Don't forget to join us for that. An enticing race that was, with so much action. I think the World Championships is going to be something very, very special. We're going to let them wander away from the podium now. So they get all their prizes and trophies. Time now for the press conference. So there they go, Sanne Cant takes the victory. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to be back shortly with the men's race. Goodbye for now.
After 23 riders on the stage, finished third, representing the United States of America. De derde beste belofte van Heusden-Zolder, komende uit de Verenigde Staten. Your applause please for Emma White. She's receiving the flowers, receiving the kisses, she's receiving a present of the city of Heusden-Zolder.
We krijgen nog een presentje aangeboden van de gemeente Heusden-Zolder, overhandigd door de schreven ontslag.
En dan terug van evenwicht geweest. De beste